Have you ever stopped to think about why certain names cross decades and become synonymous with wealth and influence? What truly exists behind the scenes of success, beyond the headlines and appearances? Today, I want to invite you to dive deep into a rarely explored mystery. There is an invisible secret, a spiritual connection that links brilliant minds to extraordinary achievements. Imagine discovering that what separates abundance from scarcity is not luck, nor ready-made formulas, but a sequence of attitudes and thoughts that only a few know. Donald Trump, despite all the spotlight and controversies, walked a silent path of learning, guided by ancient lessons that transformed not only his businesses, but his way of thinking about the impossible. The most impactful secret is about to be revealed, and perhaps it will forever change your way of understanding success, winning thinking, and what it really means to prosper. Take a deep breath and stay tuned. The key point that unites practical spirituality, financial wisdom, and powerful faith will be presented in an unprecedented way. But first, tell me in the comments, what is the greatest mystery of success for you? Like, share, and get ready, because what comes next could be the start of a new phase in your life. What lies behind the success of the world's greatest billionaires? How many times have you wondered what truly separates those who only dream from those who actually live a life of wealth and influence? Some say it's luck, others say it's inheritance, but the truth is, there's something hidden. It's an unwritten code that few manage to decipher. Success seems to follow secret patterns, paths that are invisible to most. But for those who see with depth, they become clear maps to prosperity. Curiosity, few talk about what goes on behind the minds of billionaires. There's a silent force, almost spiritual, guiding their decisions, choices, and even their failures. They see possibilities where most see obstacles. Their victories are the result of something far beyond money. It's an energy, a wisdom applied daily as if each step were guided by an inner compass. Exclusivity now. Reflect for a moment. Do you believe there's a secret, a common thread among these successful people? Maybe something accessible, but camouflaged within daily choices and small habits. The most shocking point is coming up next, and it might change your perception of wealth forever. Anticipation. If this topic resonates with you, like this video, share it, and write in the comments, I want to discover this secret. Your engagement helps spread this knowledge. Few people know, but Donald Trump has a secret mentor who changed his destiny. There is a surprising truth that remains hidden from public view. Many who have reached the top didn't do it alone. In Donald Trump's case, there's an element in his journey that almost no one talks about: a silent mentor, a decisive influence that guided his path, even when he didn't always realize it. This silent presence helped shape his decisions and strengthen his faith during big challenges. Exclusivity. This mentor doesn't appear in photos, nor does he give interviews. His guidance is transmitted subtly through timeless teachings and ideas that transcend time. It's as if Trump discovered a source of inspiration, one that fueled his courage and will to win, making him an example of someone who combines material wealth and inner strength. Curiosity. Have you ever wondered if it's possible to absorb wisdom from someone who isn't even physically present anymore? Get ready, because in the next few minutes, you'll see that this invisible mentor may be the same one who will light a new flame in your journey. The most revealing point is still to come, and it promises to change your understanding of success. Anticipation. This mentor isn't flesh and blood. He's an author. Someone you may have heard of, Napoleon Hill. Few know, but Donald Trump immersed himself in the pages of an author who changed the fate of thousands worldwide. This author is no longer with us, but his ideas have crossed generations, influencing everyone from quiet entrepreneurs to global leaders. Hill wrote as someone wanting to leave a treasure map, revealing concepts that, even today, provoke deep change in those who decide to try them out. Exclusivity. It's curious that while many seek advice in expensive courses or trends, Trump found wisdom in simple yet powerful words. He went beyond the obvious and refused superficial formulas. He chose to dive into the universe of someone who understood success before the digital age even existed. The power of consistency is right. They're seeking knowledge where few look. Imagine transforming your mind by adopting teachings that stand the test of time. He'll believe there's an invisible connection between faith, purpose, and achievement. By incorporating these principles, Trump began to see opportunities where others saw barriers. What comes next may be the missing link you've been searching for to unite dreams and achievements. The secret is about to be revealed. Curiosity, anticipation, author of the bestseller Think and Grow Rich, Hill taught the paths of the millionaire mind. With his striking writing, Napoleon Hill taught that anything the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. He was not just a writer, but a true mapmaker of thoughts and emotions, capable of shaping destinies. Hill transformed lives by showing that the greatest fortunes start in the mind before ever manifesting in the physical world. His teachings have spanned decades, still relevant for those seeking not just money, but a deeper sense of fulfillment. Exclusivity in Hill's world. Prosperity depends not only on financial calculations or outside opportunities. The secret is to develop a clear vision, unwavering faith, and constant discipline. It's like cultivating a garden. Each thought is a seed, and the harvest depends on your daily care. Many who read his book started acting differently, facing challenges with new eyes. Here's a practical example. Write down every day and in detail how you want to live. Activating your creative imagination. The secret of effective prayer. When Trump came into contact with these teachings, he realized his journey could be built from within, uniting thought, word, and action. And you? Have you stopped to think about what you've been feeding your mind daily? The next lesson will show how true desire can become the engine for a transformed life. Curiosity, anticipation, Trump learned early. It all starts with a burning desire, but it doesn't stop there. Donald Trump realized that behind every extraordinary achievement, there is always a desire so strong it's impossible to ignore. This desire is not just a loose dream. It becomes an internal flame, a force that drives every action, even in the face of the toughest challenges. Hill teaches that this is the starting point of all accomplishment, a deep want, which makes a person persist where others quit. Duality. While many let fear win, Trump chose to feed his faith. He learned that the clearer and more intense the desire, the easier it is to resist distractions and stay firm even when everything seems to go the wrong way. Here's a valuable secret. Write down a desire that burns strongly inside you. Keep that note visible and review it every day. That way, you start directing your energy towards what truly matters. Power of consistency. This lesson is like an invisible fuel that turns dreams into plans and plans into reality. As you feed your desire, your mind starts seeing opportunities where before there were only barriers. But there's a next fundamental step. Desire only becomes results when it takes the shape of a goal. And that's what we'll talk about next. Curiosity, anticipation, vague goals. Never. Trump was mentally trained to think big, specific, and without limits. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who only dream is the clarity of their objectives. Donald Trump learned early on not to accept vague goals. He dedicated time to define, in great detail, what he truly wanted to achieve. Instead of saying, "I want to be rich," he wrote down the exact amount, the deadline, and the steps to get there. This habit creates a deep commitment to your own journey, making each daily decision a conscious step in the right direction. Commitment Hill taught that the human mind works better when it knows exactly where to go. Having specific goals is like drawing a roadmap for your future. preventing fear and doubt from taking up too much space in your mind. Here's a practical exercise. Write your boldest goal on paper. Read it out loud every morning and feel committed to it. The consistency in this practice opens unexpected doors. Power of consistency. While most let their dreams get lost in routine, Trump made his goal a daily reason to act. The secret is turning desire into an objective, the objective into routine, and routine into victory. And it all begins when you understand the importance of being surrounded by people who also believe in your dream. But that's for our next moment. Curiosity, anticipation, no one wins alone. He assembled his circle of counselors, as Hill advises. Every successful journey is built with the help of the right people. Trump understood early that no matter how talented or dedicated a person is, true advancement happens when you unite with other determined minds. He sought advice, exchanged ideas, and kept close those who resonated at the same frequency. This choice broadened his vision and strengthened his confidence, especially in times when everything seemed uncertain. The secret of effective prayer. Napoleon Hill insisted, join people who share the same values, who believe in growth, who do not spare efforts to see you prosper. The power of unity creates a collective energy capable of opening previously unimaginable paths. So stop and think. Who are the 5 people who influence your life the most today? Write them down and evaluate if they lift you up or hold you back. Duality. Trump's circle of counselors was more than a business strategy, was a spiritual choice. He knew that together we are stronger, and that in difficult times the right support makes all the difference. In this environment of support and inspiration, dreams that once seemed impossible are born. But before they happen in the outside world, all success starts in the invisible. In the next step, we'll talk about visualization, a powerful tool used by those who have already understood the secret of achievement. Curiosity, anticipation, visualizing success before even achieving it was one of Trump's daily practices. One of the greatest lessons learned from Napoleon Hill and applied by Trump is the power of directed imagination. He took moments to see himself mentally already living what he wanted to achieve. This simple, silent practice conditions the brain to act as if success is already a reality. Visualization is not just daydreaming, but activating within yourself the confidence that the impossible can become tangible. The secret of effective prayer. By imagining his goals as already accomplished, Trump trained his mind to focus on solutions, not obstacles. You can do this too. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and see yourself achieving your greatest dream. Feel the joy, pride, and gratitude. Repeat this exercise daily, and little by little, you'll see your attitude toward life transform. Power of consistency. Powerful visualization is like planting the certainty of a harvest in the fertile soil of your heart. In this process, fear gives way to faith, and doubt to hope. But it's not enough to just imagine. You need to act with courage, taking the next step toward your dream even without guarantees. That's what we'll talk about now. Curiosity, anticipation. Hill teaches, knowledge without action is illusion. Trump acts quickly, even in uncertainty. On the path of great achievers, there's no room for paralysis. Trump learned early on that thinking big is just the beginning. It's action that separates intention from results. Even in the face of fear or doubt, he made quick decisions, putting into practice everything he believed. Many wait for the perfect moment, but he chose to move forward, learning and adjusting the course as he went. Duality. Hill said that action is the bridge between the invisible and the concrete. Every dream needs to leave the page and become daily attitude. Here's a tip. Identify a small step you can take toward your goal today. Don't wait for guarantees. Move. Trust the process and let action reinforce your self-confidence. Power of consistency. With each bold move, courage grows and results start to appear. Even when mistakes happen, they strengthen your journey and show new paths. Soon, we'll talk about how to deal with life's inevitable setbacks, because true, winners learn to turn failure into fuel to go even further. Curiosity, anticipation, failures. Many. But for him, they're just lessons, fuel to go beyond. Trump always saw failure not as an end, but as an invitation to start over. Every stumble, every loss was analyzed with humility and courage, serving as material to build an even stronger version of himself. This is how he turned defeats into steps up, while many let the fear of falling stop them from trying again. Duality. Napoleon Hill taught that the difference between the successful and those who give up is how they react to the unexpected. The resilient person accepts the falls, learns quickly, and soon returns to the game with renewed faith. Here's a practical suggestion. Once a week, write down your biggest mistake and extract a lesson from it. This way, you'll train your mind to grow, not to freeze. Commitment. Over time, Trump realized that failure is part of the path for those who dare to want more out of life. Every mistake carries a seed of victory for those who are attentive. But beyond resisting, it's necessary to take care of what you say to yourself after a setback. And it's precisely this next secret that can shield your mind for even greater heights. Curiosity, anticipation, repeating success to yourself until the subconscious believes it. Classic technique applied by Trump. Donald Trump developed the habit of feeding his mind with powerful phrases and images of success. By repeating daily that he was capable, that he could achieve great things, he reinforced a winning identity within. Napoleon Hill explained that everything you repeat to yourself day after day becomes a deep belief, and beliefs are like roots, sustaining your life even in storms. The secret of effective prayer autosuggestion is simple to apply. Every morning, choose a positive phrase that strengthens your desire. With conviction, looking at yourself in the mirror. This constant practice reprograms the mind, helping to ward off limiting and fearful thoughts. For example, I am capable of thriving in any scenario. Gradually, this message gains strength until it naturally influences your choices and attitudes. Power of consistency. Shielding your mind is a daily effort. It's not about denying problems, but constantly reminding your heart that it's possible to win, even when everything seems against you. And when you connect with people who think the same way, growth multiplies. Speaking of which, in the next step, discover how the power of connections can accelerate your journey. Curiosity, anticipation, connecting with the right people opens invisible doors. That's in the book and behind the scenes of Trump's empire. Trump understood early on that great opportunities rarely come to those who walk alone. By getting close to people who were already a few steps ahead, he received valuable guidance, gained access to strategic environments, and above all, learned to see possibilities where many only saw limits. This exchange is more than trading. Favors its sharing energy, ideas, and mutual inspiration. Exclusivity. You can also apply this principle. Notice who around you inspires you to grow. Get closer, offer help, learn by listening to stories of overcoming, and watch how prosperity flows naturally in circles where growth is the central value. Sometimes, all it takes is one conversation to change the course of an entire life. Commitment. True connection is built on trust and generosity. Behind Trump's greatest achievements, there have always been well-built alliances, partnerships based on values and mutual respect. And this collective energy, when well cultivated, becomes a multiplying force. But none of this makes sense without persistence, the next secret that differentiates those who merely start from those who finish what they dream. Curiosity, anticipation. How many times did you give up before really trying? Trump goes to the end, as Hill recommends. Between the first step and success, there's a path made of consistency, patience, and overcoming. Trump built his empire not by being the most talented, but by never allowing defeats to make him quit. He would repeat to himself that every no was just an invitation to insist even more. This determined attitude turned obstacles into steps up and doubts into renewed faith. Power of consistency, Hill taught. Those who give up too soon never discover the strength they have. True victory is reserved for those who, even in headwinds, stand firm, adjusting their sails and keeping their eyes on the goal. A simple exercise. Remember an area of your life where you stopped halfway. Now decide to return, even if it's with a small step. Right in the comments, I decide to persist. Commitment, this persistence, repeated every day, builds fortunes, stories, and legacies. When consistency becomes a habit, the impossible starts making room for the extraordinary. And in the next point, we'll discover what happens when all these secrets unite in one direction, and how that can transform any reality. Curiosity, anticipation, combining all these teachings. Trump became a global reference in wealth, business, and influence. True transformation happens when burning desire meets clear goals, constant action, powerful connections, and unwavering faith. All these principles, when applied together, create an almost irresistible energy that attracts opportunities, resources, and achievements. Trump became a global symbol of prosperity, not by chance, but because he persisted in living day by day what Hill taught on every page. Exclusivity, each victory was the result of a conscious choice to live above doubts, aligning thoughts, words, and actions in the same direction. The secret to wealth is less about magic formulas and more about the consistency of small habits, maintained with discipline and courage. Whoever applies these principles will gradually start to experience changes that seem miraculous, but are actually the result of commitment to a new way of living. Power of consistency, the most inspiring point is realizing that this same path is open to anyone willing to walk it. There's no unreachable secret. There's dedication, a desire to learn, and a willingness to start over as many times as necessary. And now, there's just one detail left: discovering how you can apply all this in your own life, no matter where you start from. Curiosity, anticipation, and here's the truth: these teachings aren't exclusive to Donald Trump. You can apply them too. The secret is in your hands. So, will you just keep watching, or will you act from now on? Everything you've heard up to here was meant to show that the power of transformation is within reach for those who decide to change from the inside out. It doesn't matter where you're from, your current situation, or the challenges you're facing, the same principles that propel Dayband. Billionaires may be the key to opening new doors in your own life. If you've come this far, you've already shown that you seek more than quick answers. You seek meaning, evolution, and a new chapter of achievements. Commitment. Imagine your routine from now on, starting your day with clarity, renewing your faith, and surrounding yourself with people who lift your standards. Visualize yourself acting courageously, learning from mistakes, and never giving up on your dreams, even when the world says it's impossible. If this journey makes sense to you, share it with someone who needs this message. And write in the comments, I decide to change my reality. The secret of effective prayer. If this video spoke to you, like, share, and subscribe. The world needs people who believe in the impossible and may be. This is your calling. If this content awakens something in you, share it with those who need this spiritual knowledge. Subscribe, leave a like. And remember, wealth begins when you change your thinking and your actions. Commitment life is made of deep choices, of silent decisions that happen every day within our hearts. When you feel, with all your being, that you can transform your reality, nothing is impossible. This video was an invitation for you to feel life intensely. Allow yourself to dare and discover your own strength, living beyond fear and doubt. If today you recognize the value of aligning your mind, your faith, and your actions, remember, every thought counts, every habit builds, every word has power. Share this knowledge with someone special, because together we can create a chain of wisdom, prosperity, and true transformation. Write in the comments what you feel called to transform from now on. Your commitment can inspire many others. If this video spoke to you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The world needs people who believe in the impossible, and maybe this is your calling. The next step is yours. Decide to live with courage, feel deeply, and act with purpose. You are capable of going beyond.